Welcome to another Maz Play video. This is MazMojito, and today we're going to be picking up where we left off with Against the Storm. Let's get to it. Okay, so where we last left off, we were on the losing side of our last campaign. The Queen's favor was not high, and our disfavor was very high, to the point where we lost the campaign or the scenario. So once you lose, it takes you back to the main homeland, if you will, or the castle where the queen is. And as you can see, the envoy's talking to you. You now have a map of the whole surrounding area, including all the different falls of war. And you get to pick basically a new location to start again, a new, I guess, a new city or a new town, and try to manage it to such a way where you don't lose favor. So we're gonna show some of the little cutscenes here as far as the little mini menus of what you can upgrade, and you basically have like little skill trees and stuff. So you do better each time you have to start over, and you will have to start over quite a few times. That's just part of the game. As you increase your level and your skills, it gets easier and easier to stay on the positive side of the Queen's favor instead of the negative side. So I'm going to keep my comments to a minimum as usual, just the key points I want to make, and we're going to go ahead and progress through the game. Okay, so now we got a little bit of a backstory on the game and the reason why we're doing what we're doing for the Queen. Apparently there's something called the Blight Storm, and it really makes the surrounding living areas pretty bad, so much to the point that the people that live out there all come back to the Citadel or close to the Citadel to live and work. Your job as the envoy is to try to expand the territory to the point where you reach that green glowing marker on the map, which was basically to the direct south of the Citadel. As you move the mouse over the different areas, I guess, there's little messages that pop up on the left side, I notice, and it kind of gives you an idea of the difficulty, different effects, different rewards. So you basically use that as a guide to choose where you want to build. So we're going to look at starting here, and it tells you kind of our starting group, but here you can also adjust the difficulty, and again we got some more information coming in from the Queen's Envoy, which basically tells you, hey, you can make this harder or easier depending on your choice. And it kind of gives you some starting resources, you know, with your caravan to start off. What I probably will end up doing, my strategy is kind of doing the surrounding areas first and probably just work my way directly south so I can get to the green marker. So let's go ahead and choose a new caravan location and start getting our town set up. We can even name it, so I'm gonna go ahead and give it a Maz Play title there, and then we'll go from there. It's almost like that first intro map was really more just an introduction to the game. So something I didn't really touch on too much was the different races here. So as you can see, I'm hovered over the lizard race, and it kind of gives you some details of the pros and cons for them, what they excel at, what they're probably not going to be better at. Also gives you a little bit of a background on their species. It shows you some of the starting off goods you're going to get with this option, because I guess you have this is pretty much the people that are in your caravan. It shows you the supplies that they're bringing. As you mouse over the different things, it also shows you all those resources and how they're produced, so you can have the right building for them. So also here you got the human. Again, it shows you what they are very good at and what they're susceptible to. So in this case, rain. The humans are very good at doing farms, but again, the resources, and it shows you how you can produce those. You also have some question mark spots that you'll be able to fill in later as new refugees come to your town. Shows you the impatience level for this particular map. When you hit that certain point, the game ends, and it also shows you your rewards and your, as far as the conditions of the area that you're going to be setting up at. So just some good information about the stage that, or actually the area that we're going to be trying to settle and expand. All right, so the name of this area is called Forest Mysteries. We got a couple little information there. This is Berry New Year, and it shows you all the benefits of why Berry New Year. Intensive mutations is what this gives you. Looming darkness as well, and muddy ground. So it has the positive effects and the negative effects. Also shows you some additional effects down below. So starting off with my town hall, and of course my turtle kind of icon. I guess that's some kind of religious monument or something like that for the species in this game. Looking at my surrounding area, a lot of trees, but also a lot of fog of war, and of course the ever-present rain, which the humans do not like, as you can see in their bio when I moused over them. Starting off with a couple buildings here, we're gonna go ahead and start placing those down. I usually like to leave a little bit of a gap in between my buildings so that I can place a road. Makes it a lot easier. In this case, I'm going to move these camps out, these lumber camps out a little bit, so I can get the full range, I guess, if you will, kind of a nice big square of range for harvesting some trees and stuff like that. Got a couple trees blocking me down here, so I can't really place that where I want, but we'll put these guys to work. I don't have any of the kind of like beaver like guys that are really good at chopping wood down, so I'm just gonna basically work with what I have, assign people to different tasks to start harvesting. Choose a cornerstone. So these are the little messages that pop up in the upper right. I usually just kind of hit OK just to kind of keep it going. but I would take the time to actually read and see what you're going to get out of it, because they usually give you a choice of either this or that. Now this is important here. I don't know if we had this in the last one, but you get these orders that come in from the queen. Basically they give you objectives. Usually it's going to be some farming or harvesting objectives. When you have those resources, you hit deliver. It makes the queen's disfavor or anger go down, and it makes her favor go up. So you always want to be doing these orders, and you always want to be delivering them as quickly as possible. So it's very important to try to get as much resources as you can, so you can always be doing these unlocked requests from the queen. So that's enough talking. We're gonna let it roll for a minute, and we should start getting more and more people show up to our camp, so that we can assign more and more buildings to have a nice good workload. And we even have a speed up option in the top middle part of the map, so we can speed things along once we have everyone assigned to different details. So we're dropping a couple more buildings down, herbalist camps, just because we had some berries nearby, and that's the only way you can really harvest those berry bushes, is making sure you have somewhere in the vicinity a camp. So here we have a reputation bonus. We get to pick one of these 3 type of buildings, and each of them have their own benefits and what they can collect. Some more things that have opened up. As you can see at the bottom, they each have a star level of what they are optimized to collect, depending on what resources you find around the map. So I'm going to quickly just pick one of the 3 just to keep the game moving, especially if I've seen resources around that I can pop those buildings next to and start gathering. No new orders from the queen yet, so we'll keep an eye on that. There's actually a cooldown where it shows you when the new orders will come in. Looks like we got some sunlight here, but it's nighttime is ended, but the rain has not stopped. So that's one thing you'll notice, is always going to be raining here. So we got our workers, they're hard at work. Our lumber guys are collecting wood. Our foragers are pulling the berries from the bushes. So we got our human foragers there collecting. Actually, that's a lizard guy. So everyone's busy doing something, and then we have a couple of them stopping to take a break in front of the prayer statue there. So just zoomed in, want to give you an idea to show how busy everyone is. And yeah, some people that are just idle, as you can see there, but they may just be taking a short little break. So the herbalist camp is going strong. And we just unlocked something over here, an obelisk, which is a event. So you get to assign a worker, or they give you the terms of what you can do and choose a reward as a. Usually it's either you're trading off a worker or you're trading off some resources, and then it kind of gives you a little reward or a bonus effect. Now, as you can see here, our woodcutter building Actually, that's the stonecutters camp. Did not have any workers assigned, so we quickly took care of that. Now, I don't know if the beavers excel in collecting stone, but at this point, I'm just trying to make sure that I get all these buildings occupied and working. All right, so we're just expanding our footprint a bit, putting some houses down so that we can hold more workers. But some areas are still blocked, and I really want to leave paths for me to pop roads down, so when we do clear these trees and get to the fogs of war, I have actually paths to get to those areas. So looking around the area, we have a couple spots that have the little demon head looking area. Those areas that we're going to avoid for now, because that tells me there's going to be some nasty things hidden underneath that fog. So we're going to really focus on the fog of war areas, like to the left and to the right of us, because those seem to be nice and clear. But to get to those areas, we're going to have to highlight a path of trees to clear out. We don't have any more orders coming in, and we got a couple recipes unlocked, but for the most part we have a couple warning symbols on buildings, meaning there's a couple things that are in progress of being built, but they are short on resources to complete the task, so they're going to kind of stay in that position until we get more resources harvest. We're really close to some danger zones there, so we don't have a whole lot of areas we can expand into. That's really bad there. Each symbol, as you highlight over it, it tells you the danger level, you know, either dangerous or extremely dangerous. So so that's kind of where we're at. We're making really good progress. The town is going along, everyone's busy, but we're short on certain resources, so hopefully eventually we'll be able to get those farmed up. We have a couple buildings available, some zeros, some ones, so we can also lay down, once we expand our area, we can lay down some more production facilities. Okay, so we were able to clear this path to this area. This is going to be even more area that I can expand into. Even move a wood collector camp from where it is over there, so that we can keep clearing those trees out. Most of my constructions are starting to finish up. Again, these cornerstone messages come up You can decline them, but I usually try to pick at least one. There's usually a penalty involved, either giving up resources or something else. Got some newcomers coming in. We could always use more lumberjacks. And right now, whenever I get these messages come in, I pause the message, or I try to make sure that or the game pauses the message just so that you can review it clearly. So all in all, everyone's busy, and we're just going to keep working, try to keep expanding our footprint, if you will. I got a couple buildings down there that I have zeros, meaning that I have not placed that type of building down yet. So once I have the space in the room, I will definitely make sure that I put down that harvester camp and that small foragers camp and the small trappers camp. But again, it makes no sense to put those down until you actually find the resources that they specialize in gathering. So they may stay zero throughout the whole scenario, or I may come to a point where I clear an area that actually has the resources that those buildings are designed to gather. So here's something that's worth noting. As you click on a different building, gives you some more order details. You can actually control what they're gathering, how much they're gathering, and it gives you some good statuses. You can also prioritize. If it's more than one resource to be gathered, you can prioritize which one gets gathered first. And for the shelters, you can actually see who's in them. So there's a lot to get from each building as you click on it, from not only assigning workers, but just prioritizing their workload and giving them special instructions like avoid any glades that have skulls in them, I guess. Just something worth noting as you're clicking around. All right, so we got a couple deliveries here. Notice in the bottom right, as I click on deliver these items for the Queen's orders, notice how my disfavor actually drops and her favor goes up. So that's one way to extend your gameplay in this one. Keep fulfilling the Queen's orders, and you will keep her anger at bay, and it would allow you to continue managing your town that much longer. I guess the longer you can keep the town going, the more experience you can get and the better rewards. Eventually the difficulty level will increase, and eventually you will lose favor and get out of the Queen's favor and have to start again. But you can kind of really slow that down and really keep a town going for a long time, except for the beginning town. I think that one you're slated to lose because that's just really more of an introduction to the game. But your second, third, fourth towns, you really want to keep those going as long as possible, and hopefully you don't pick a section of the map that has too many demon skulls. So here we just unlocked a new Fog of War area to the south of us. We have 2 buildings there with some exclamation points on them, and it kind of gives you an idea of what they're looking for each building. As you click on them, you'll see the details of what your rewards is and what they need as far as workload and whatnot, so that you can get that material. So clearing that area really has given us a bigger footprint to actually expand our town. And we still haven't done the fog of war to the left, but we can really clear out all those trees by those totems and really start building in that direction. Then if we can expand to the left, that's even more area we can expand to, even to the right, because I don't see a skull there. But you really have the potential to really spread out here if you clear trees in the right area to open up the right falls of war. Requires a lot of micromanagement on the woodcutters and making sure that they're chopping down the right trees and not putting you in a situation where you open up the nasty spots of the map. Okay, so our path is marked as far as what trees we want our lumberjacks to clear, and this is also going to be the border that we're going to expand our town in the direction of. Obviously, we left enough of a gap between our town and the bad spots, so we're going to speed up time and try to get them to quickly clear out those trees. I'm sure we'll be getting notifications of things that our workers have discovered as they clear those trees out. So at this point, I think we run into a good section of the game, of the video, to go ahead and put a bookmark in it. And we're going to come back in the next video and continue on as we expand our town and avoid the nasty areas and continue to get rained on. So as usual, I'd like to thank you for taking the time to watch my videos. Please remember to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.